This is a ManeHustle Media podcast.
Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Jackie O and you're listening to Militantly Mixed.
Yo, this is Rashani from the Single Simulcast. And when I'm not making you laugh or making up parody songs, I'm kicking back, listening to Militantly Mixed.
I would like to acknowledge that the ManeHustle Media podcasts are recorded on the traditional lands of the Karankawa, the Chumash, and the Tongva people, and I wish to pay my respects to the people of those nations, both past and present. Hey y'all, welcome to Militantly Mixed, the podcast about race and identity from the mixed race perspective. I am your host, Charmaine Fury, the busiest mixed race, bi-gender, bisexual, polyamorous, atheist, comic book nerd, cat mom, and now two-time Asian American Podcasters Association's Golden Crane Award winning podcaster in this podcasting game. This is episode 152. It's the first episode of 2022, and it is late because I have been really struggling lately. Like I'm fighting off a bout of major depression. I do talk about mental health on the show a lot, so I'm really just popping on to let y'all know what's going on, in case there's other delays. I'm trying not to delay the show because it is one of the tools I use to keep me steady and not fall into depression. But something that I'm dealing with right now in therapy has raised a bunch of painful things, and it's contributing to me kind of slipping into about a major depression, which is natural. You're doing the work to get better, but you still have to rehash shit that sucks, and that's what's happening. I tried to record this episode a couple of days ago, but I sounded like Eeyore, and it was just more depressing to actually even hear myself talk like that. So I didn't release the episode in time for Tuesday. I'm popping on real fast just to let you know, all know that that's what happened, and to tell you that, you know, my pacing is a little bit off right now as I try to rebuild and get the show back going for the New Year's. But I'm fine. I'm doing good work in therapy. It's just that the work we're doing also raises some painful stuff that I don't want to deal with at all, but need to. And this is actually the first time I have a therapist that I've trusted with it. I've never shared this stuff with any other previous therapist before. And the difference is this therapist is a member of multiple of my intersections. And so I felt comfortable and safe to express it. And I tried to move on, and she was like, we're dealing with this shit. So we're dealing with this shit, and it sucks, but I have to get it done. So it's a little bit easier. I can usually match the energy of someone I'm talking to if I'm recording an episode, but I haven't had any recordings. Actually, a couple of the ones I was supposed to do in December didn't end up happening. So I don't actually have any recordings ready to go, and that's why I didn't release a different episode in lieu of my first of the year episode. But we'll get there. I will be releasing my schedule for recording here soon and emailing the newer people that have posted their request for being a guest on the show to let them know that they can schedule. So I'll be getting that out over the next few days. But yeah, things have been tough lately. I'm sure for everybody, but for me, how it's impacting is it delayed the show, and I'm behind on the work I was planning on doing so that I could start the new year for the show off differently. I'm behind on that because of how the depression has hit. Boom, 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 boom. Some great things that have been happening, though, which are also helping and countering this depression, is winning the Asian American Podcasters Golden Crane Award. In particular, for the category we won it. I recorded that a couple weeks ago. Y'all have probably heard it by now. It's been very emotional in the best kind of way experience to get that kind of acknowledgement. Another thing that I'm doing is I have finally started to work with a one-on-one tutor for Japanese because I know many of you can relate as a mixed person with a language in access or lack of language access. It is a part of what makes me feel disconnected sometimes to the culture that I was literally raised in. And I had been trying to do it just through Duolingo and stuff like that in recent months, but I know that I'm never going to get anywhere if I don't start speaking to someone. Naturally, Mona Lisa actually was the one who suggested a number of different apps where you can schedule time with tutors, and the one I chose was called iTalki, Italki. It's an app on your phone, but you can also access it on the web. And I was able to schedule with just accidentally a person that ended up being like the best possible person for me. We get along really great, and I like the method of how they're instructing. It's more conversational, like I do with the show. And so we're just having a conversation, and then we're stopping to say, like, what we just said was this, and this is how you write it, and this is how you say it, and this is the context you use it. So it's awesome. I'm 2 sessions in, and I'm sure this will come as no surprise to people. I'm supposed to have a half an hour session with her. The first time we went over an hour, and she got off because she had to go to her next tutoring session. The one last night, though, was supposed to be a half an hour, and we ended up going 3 hours. We talked about all kind of stuff, and unfortunately, we really like each other. Because I kept like for like 2 hours we kept apologizing to each other that we were keeping each other, but we didn't hang up. There got to be less Japanese instruction during that time, but there was still some. But it was mostly just like her wanting to understand the experience that I have as a mixed Japanese born in America, and me wanting to understand her experience as a Japanese born in Japan, who lives in other countries because she is frustrated by a lot of the supremacy of Japanese culture. So she actively chose to leave the country because she says they don't identify how racist they are. It's not a conversation I ever expected to have with a natural born Japanese. So it's been it's just been, I've just learned so much, and I just love to engage with her. So it was boosting, which is why I'm able to record today in better spirits, because I don't sound as much like Eeyore because I'm kind of riding that high. It's also the first thing I've done since I woke up, so that's why I have scratchy voice still. But it's been fun. And I have all these notes, and I'm learning things that probably wouldn't have come up in regular Japanese class because we're having a conversation, and then she's teaching me the Japanese of the conversation we're having. It's so dope. If you're trying to learn a language, it's not very expensive. It can range, depending on the tutor you pick, from like $5 for a half an hour to 15 to 20. There are more expensive people that you can choose too. But if you pair up with the right one and they happen to be affordable, it's really great. She doesn't have a lesson plan. She has resources, but like I said, we're doing this as conversationally. So we're having a conversation in English, and she's stopping to teach me the Japanese of the conversation. It's dope. So I learned like context of usage of stuff that I would have never probably figured out before without engaging in conversation. I love it. Highly recommend. I don't know if I can get some kind of referral thing or whatever, but if I do, I'll post it in the show notes. But I'll put the link in the show notes anyway, because I think this would be a useful tool for a lot of us mixed folks out here that would like to improve our language to the cultures that we come from. I have a feeling that if I keep this up, I will get to conversationalness within the next couple of years. And I'm not telling myself like be conversational in 3 months. I'm literally just keep it up, like a gym membership that I actually go to 2 times a week. Keep it up, and also get to know someone that I would love to have as a friend because she's dope. So that's some of the good things that have been happening lately, and I definitely recommend the service if you're gonna try it. I think I lucked out with who I picked because I didn't really have much context for who I was picking. I watched a couple of their introductory videos, and for this one, I was like, yeah, I'll just pick this, and it just turned out to be amazing. So, 10 out of 10 would recommend. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I don't want to get down a rabbit hole of things that'll probably add to my stress and depression by talking about some of the more difficult sides of what's happening with funding and things like that for the show. So I'm going to leave that for now. But I'm happy to be back and get things running. I hope y'all watched the Instagram lives that we did in December. That was my way of kind of keeping connected to the show even while it was on hiatus. I did one-on-one lives every Monday of December, one with Asian Soph, one with Ryan Alexander Holmes, one with Rohan Jolie, one with Naturally Mona Lisa. I wasn't able to rip the audio to put it into the podcast because my computer is not working well with the app that I use to rip audio. I may still do it in the future and drop them separately, but for now, if you want to see them, they're still available on the Instagram page. You can check it out by the dates of the Mondays that happened in December, and just see. We just talked about random stuff and as it related to our experience as mixed people. So with Mona Lisa, we talked about HR and working in spaces as a brown person, and so, it was really kind of any conversation under the sun. I really enjoyed doing those, and I think I might try to do more of those. I won't necessarily commit to every Monday because that would be difficult with my Japanese tutoring now. But I think I'll do them on occasion because it was a lot of fun, and I hope you all enjoyed it. If you would like to sponsor the show, you can go to patreon.com/militantly mixed and support the show as low as $1 to as high as anything you wish. There are different reward levels. If you donate at the $5 a month level, you can actually get access to the video versions of the episodes from episode 142. And those are just the episodes in which I speak to a person. I don't record video when I'm doing the solo episodes. But you can access the video versions of the episodes from episode 142 on if you go to Patreon and sponsor at the $5 a month level. So for as low as what would amount to $12 a year or $60 a year, if you sponsor the show for that, it would make a huge difference and really help keep this thing growing. And don't forget to follow Militantly Mixed on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Militantly Mixed. I do also have a Tickety Talk. I have not been able to keep that up. I really want to. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'm too old for it. I don't know. But I do have some videos on the Tickety Talk, so you can also follow Tickety Talk at Militantly Mixed as well. And as always, there's always the website, militantlymixed.com, where you can click on the button for Be a Guest of the show and sign up. And I will soon be emailing folks that have filled that out to let them know what my new recording schedule is going to be. And that's it for now. So for the first time in 2022, just want to remind y'all to be your mixed ass self. Stay safe out there, y'all. Peace. Militantly Mixed is a ManeHustle media podcast, produced and hosted by me, Charmaine Fury. Music is by David Bogan the One. You can follow us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Militantly Mixed. If you'd like to become a sponsor of Militantly Mixed, please go to patreon.com/militantly mixed for monthly sponsorship or paypal.me/militantly mixed for a one-time only donation. And if you like what you hear on Militantly Mixed, please subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. And don't forget to be your mixed-ass self. ManeHustle Media. Turn your side hustle into your main hustle.